Okay, so today we're going to talk flaps. Yes, we need to talk flaps. Okay, because flaps are really great for giving interactiveness into your album. And I'm going to combine a flap here with a pocket. So the idea is that I'm going to create the flap to come at the top, so it'll come down and it will cover the pocket underneath. Well, partly underneath, okay, so that when you lift it up, then you can see you've got a nice little pocket and you can tuck things inside. So let's get my scoreboard. Now, the measurements for this are 7 inches by 1/8 of an inch, okay, by 5 inches. All right, and what we're going to do is we're going to score 1/2 inch on the 5-inch side. So we're just going to run that down like so. Now, flaps are really versatile. You can use them in all sorts of ways. Okay, I'm going to put my little bit of red liner tape along the bottom like so. I'm just going to tuck that in there so it's within that score line. Snip that off. All right, and just get my bone folder. We're just going to give that a little wiggle like that, and then I'm just going to fold onto the bubble and I'm going to give that another clean crease. All right, so in essence the flap is going to sit on there. Now, before I attach that, I want to put some nice corner rounded edges. So let's get my corner rounder. I think we'll just go with the small one for now. It just gives me a nice little corner rounder on there. So I'm just going to tuck that in like so, and then we're just going to attach this to the top. Now, I need to be a little bit careful because on the other side I've got an acetate pocket and it's gusseted, so I don't want to put too much pressure on here, but I'm going to turn this upside down. So there's my pocket opening. This is the top of the page, and I'm going to line that pocket up on there, making sure that it covers the edge and it comes to the edges of the pocket at the bottom of the page. So like with anything, we're going to take off the red liner tape and I'm going to add a little bit of glue. Let's just put a little bit of glue along. Oh, it's a bit squeaky, this glue. Okay, that just gives me a little bit of wiggle room, and I'm just going to attach that to the top of the page. Now, because that's at the top, I'm just going to run my finger gently across that because I don't want to damage the other page on the other side. Okay, and that is a basic flap. Now, you can take this one stage further. What you can do is make what I call my flapper page, okay? And the flapper page has 4 flaps on it, hence why it's called the flapper page, okay? And these are, the flaps are 4 1/4 inch by 6 3/4 inches, and I've scored 1/2 inch on the 6 3/4 inch side. And as you can see, I've already put the red liner tape on, and I've got 4 pages here, and this is what we're going to use for this. So I'm just going to fold those over and score those. And the nice thing about flaps is that you can attach them to your pages in any which way that you want to. You can make them as big or as small as you like. You can have them over little mini pockets. If you saw me making the mini pockets, you could do little mini flaps to go over those. But for this one, we're just going to line these on the page in a different order. So the idea is there's my hinge part there, and I'm literally just going to have these coming round off of all 4 sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the top part of our page first. I've got my hinge line there, and I'm going to line that one up just inside, well, just the other side of that score line, but to the top of the page. So I'm just going to peel this off. Now, you could corner around these if you want to as well, but for me, I just want to put these on as they are. So I'm just going to put the first one in, and I'm just going to bring it in just off that edge like so. There we go. All right, now I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to have my next page come in just slightly off, but in line with the flap that comes down, and that is going to sit like so, and making sure that I've got that nice edge is coming in just on that edge there. Now I will just put a little bit of glue on this one because we might need to wiggle it a little bit. We'll see how we get on. Okay, so I'm just going to come down, fold that over, and I'm just bringing that in, and I'm just making sure that that is going to cover, when that comes down, that will just cover that nicely. And I'm just making sure that that is nice and straight on the bottom of our page. Right, so we've got two flaps in. Okay, now I'm going to turn it around again, and this time I'm going up this way from the bottom, but I'm coming over to this edge. So I'm just going to add a little bit more glue for a bit of wiggle. And again, I need to make sure that the base of, or the folded part of my hinge lines up with the base of here, and it's coming to the edge of the paper. I'm not quite at the edge, I've come in just a fraction, and that comes over and that covers up on there, which is fine. And then the final bit, so as you can see, we've got 1, 2, 3, so the fourth one is coming up here. Now this one, you need to make sure that you've got it in line with the top, so I normally have that open and I have it just sort of tucked in on the inside, so I know that that's going to be nice and straight on that fold, and to make sure that it comes in line with the edge of this flap that comes up across here. So we're just going to peel that off like so. A little bit of wiggle room because this is the final bit, and sometimes you might need to wiggle it just a little bit. Okay, so I've got it lined up with the front there, coming up along that side. I just need to bring that over so it's in line with that flap coming up there. And now I can stick that down. I think we're, if I come over a fraction, no, that's all good. Right, and now that the flaps are in, we can just give them a good crease. So you've got 4 of the flaps coming off this page, so it sort of looks a bit like so. There we go, just give those all a good crease, and there we are. So you can fold these whichever way. I normally go 1, 2, 3, 4, but you can fold them whichever way you like. You can have that one coming over the top, you can have that one going up, whichever way you want to do it. All right, it really doesn't matter, but the idea is that they all overlap. So that's how versatile flaps can be. Okay, there we are, there we have it. So that's your flaps on there, and our flap that goes over the top of a pocket. The other flap that you can do is depending on your papers. So if you've got a really lovely bit of paper, and the design comes all the way down and would come down over the bottom of your pocket, you could actually cut and shape the flap so it comes round. So you could use a bigger piece of card where it will come round and it will shape round whatever that pattern design is, so that when you open it up, you know, you've got when you look at the page, you've got the whole design coming up, sweeping all the way down, and you know, you can lift the whole of that up as well. If you have a look at my Great Outdoors album, you see that I've done that with one of the pages where I've cut the flap coming over the pocket because I wanted to incorporate the whole of the design on the paper. But other than that, that's it. And that is us talking flaps. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.